Hello everyone, and welcome to the final part of Live from the Workshop, the Fivefth Doctors. This is my retrospective review, a look back across the series, but this one has a bit of a twist, because the eagle-eyed amongst you, or those of you that read the title, will notice that I have updated some of these figures since my original video, and there is a very good reason for that, which I'm going to take you into. Now, obviously, when I recorded this series, as I do with most of my many other series, I record them out of sequence and in advance. So, until I actually put them up online, I don't know which ones are going to be uploaded first, and so on and so forth. And so the last one I actually recorded was, in fact, my coatless Fifth Doctor from Planet of Fire. And in doing that one, I noticed when I did the trousers, I felt a lot more confident doing them, and I realised that my skills had developed to the point where I did feel a lot more confident in how I was able to paint those. And so I sort of looked at the other figures I'd done in this series, and so, for example, the trousers on the Time Crash one were the same as on the coatless Fifth Doctor, and my original Time Crash trousers were alright, but they weren't that good, so I thought, well, now I know I've done it on that figure, I'll do it on this figure. And so I did that, and then I thought, well, now I know I can do that fine detailing. My trousers on the pre-regenerated Fifth Doctor were again a bit rough, so I thought, well, you know what, I'll redo those as well. So I redid them, and then once I'd redone those, I looked at across the range, and I realised that what I'd actually gotten was I had three versions with what I call the Time Crash trousers, which was, the other one was obviously that one, and then my concept one. But the thing with the concept one is, my favourite variation of the Fifth Doctor's outfit is what I call the Resurrection of the Daleks one, which is basically the version that you see here on the pre-regenerated Fifth Doctor. And so I actually don't have, with the exception of my regenerated Sixth Doctors, this is the only other version I had, apart from the regenerated Sixth Doctors and the one that's on the top of my shelves as part of my what I call my The Doctor Is In lineup. And so these were the only ones I had, so I thought, well, you know what, that's my favourite style of the trousers, so I'm going to update it for this one, and that's what I did. So that's why there is variation on here, as I looked across it and I thought, well, you know what, now I know I'm confident in doing that, I'd like to update it a bit more, and I have to say, I'm actually much more pleased with how these all look now. So, to take you over them all, we have the season 19 Fifth Doctor with the standard trousers, coat, and the only difference there is that I've put the younger head with the longer hair on it. We have the Planet of Fire Fifth Doctor with the out the coat. We have a pre-regenerated Fifth Doctor from the Caves of Androzani. I don't know why I keep saying the Fifth Doctor. You all know it's the Fifth Doctor, but I'm going to keep saying it. We have a concept outfit Fifth Doctor, which is a style of outfit that I would have liked to have seen him worn. And finally, the Time Crash Fifth Doctor from the mini episode Time Crash. So I like to sort of look back across them, obviously, and say which one was my favourite to make. But across all of these ones, part of the reason why this series took me so long to do, and part of the reason why I haven't done that many Fifth Doctor customs, is simply because there really isn't that much variation in his outfit, and sort of people had been asking me for years to do the pre-regenerated Fifth Doctor, and it just wasn't of interest to me because I didn't see the point in it. And people had also asked me to do a sort of concept style outfit, but with different colours and things like that, and again, just really didn't interest me. And the simple fact was just that there wasn't enough variation to make enough customs. But in the end, it turns out there was. And in the end as well, it ended up meaning that I did effectively two customs that I never wanted to do in the first place, and I never really had any interest in doing. So I have to say, with the exception of one more Fifth Doctor custom I've got coming as part of my The Doctor Is In series, I have no other plan to do any more Fifth Doctor customs, just purely because there isn't anything more I want to do. As I said, I didn't ever think I'd do these ones, so you probably won't see any more Fifth Doctor customs from me for quite a while. But looking at these overall, if I had to pick out a favourite, it would actually be a joint favourite, because there are two figures here, which one was the most fun was actually a lot of fun to make in terms of, well, I'll rephrase that. One was one that was very easy to make. I actually learnt sort of quite a lot in making it, and the second one is the one that I think has come out the best. And in a huge twist of irony, these two figures are the two that I never thought I would do. The two that I said I had absolutely no interest in making. A pre-regenerated Fifth Doctor and a concept outfit Fifth Doctor. Now let me take you over why, because it's still perfectly true to say I have no interest in making these, or I have no interest in ever making them, and it wasn't something that I ever wanted to make, and it wasn't something that I ever planned to make, but it just happened for sort of various reasons. And so taking you over my reasoning behind it, the one that I've learnt the most through doing is, surprisingly, you might think it was the concept fit, but it's not. It's the regenerated Fifth Doctor, because the thing is, for this figure, first of all, I didn't have to do that much to it, because effectively I'd already made that figure as part of my regenerated Sixth Doctor custom, and so I didn't have to do that much to it, and so it was one of those figures that, you know, that's kind of why I wasn't interested in making it, because I'd already made it for that, and I wasn't interested in making a Fifth Doctor version, but then this series came along and suddenly I didn't need this custom version anymore, so I thought, well, you know what, I'll just turn it into a regenerated Fifth Doctor, and into a pre-regenerated Fifth Doctor, and so that's what I did. And so, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of interest in it because there wasn't a lot for me to do, but looking back on it now, I have to say that that's actually probably one of a perfect example of a custom that's great to do if you're getting into customs, because I know it's an incredibly popular idea that people have wanted for years, and so that's why you know, it's always seemed a bit of a strange thing for me to say I'm not interested in doing it when so many people want to see it. But obviously I have done it now for me. But I look at it and think, like, if you've got a Fifth Doctor, even with the standard head, obviously I've put the longer haired head on there, but even with a standard head, if you've got a Resurrection of the Daleks Fifth Doctor with the proper trousers, then this is actually a very simple custom to do, because literally all it entails is, using that figure as a base, all it entails is putting mud on areas of it and a little bit of blood on the face. Obviously, as I said in my main video, I've taken a little bit of artistic license by putting more blood on his face and everything like that, but just overall, you know, it's a very, very simple custom to do. If you don't have one of the Resurrection of the Resurrection of the Daleks Fifth Doctors with those proper trousers, obviously, as I said at the start, it's taken my skills many years of constant practice to be able to do these trouser lines, but doing the trouser lines like that, it is a great way to practice a steady hand and to practice painting finer details. And so if you are a very beginner at customs, I wouldn't recommend trying to do the trousers. If you want to try doing them, by all means try doing them, but I wouldn't personally recommend it. But if you have been making customs for quite a while and you feel confident in doing it, then I think it's a great thing to try and do the trousers, because then you've got actually quite a good custom at the end of it. So it's certainly one that, as I said, you know, I never planned to do it, I never thought I'd do it, but in doing it, it's taught me a few things, and I think it opens up the opportunities for other people that want to do customs as well, in that, you know, I can say, you know what, it's actually not a difficult custom to make. It was certainly an insight and a challenge in many different ways for me. So I think it presents a very good challenge for people that want to develop their skills. In terms of the one that's come out the best, it's definitely got to be the concept outfit Fifth Doctor, because again, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do a concept outfit. I had no interest in doing a concept outfit, but that was a concept outfit in different colours, and so by incorporating something such as the waistcoat, the cardigan, it just added that something a little bit different and a little bit more to it. And then by repainting the trousers into the style that I prefer, again, I think it just adds more to it. As much as I liked the original trousers that I had on it, I just prefer these trousers because, again, it's my favourite look of the outfit. It adds a nice bit of contrast colour, because if you look at things like the Time Crash and even the very original ones, they're having the cream trousers, the main colour of the trousers being cream. It blends in with the rest of the outfit very well, and it fits, but it looks almost monotone. And so by giving him a much stronger, solider colour trousers, it just highlights. I think it equally equally balances the lighter colours with the red colours of the outfit, and so I think that's why it works very well. And I'm very pleased with the final sculpt I did on the waistcoat as well. I think that's a large part of it, but it's certainly one that came out much better than I was expecting it to, because it was one of those customs that, you know, I looked at it, and the more I looked at it, I thought, you know, every time I look at it as an idea on paper, because I often plan out my customs, it was one of those things that I thought, why am I doing this? You know, what's the point in this? It's not something that interests me, but I need a 5th custom for this series, so why not? And it's just, you know, I really, every step of the way through this, I put all my effort into it, but it really felt like a challenge, a personal challenge, because it felt like something I didn't want to do. But I've finished it now, and it's one of those customs that I look at it and think it may be one of the best ones I've done personally for me. So it is certainly one that you know, that really does stand out above the rest of this series of customs. But that's pretty much all I've got to say really on this. It's been a very fun series to do. As I said, I do have one more 5th Doctor custom as part of my The Doctor Is In series, because I'd always said with my lineup of the Doctors, the 5th Doctor was the one that was the hardest to customize, because there wasn't anything that I really wanted to do. But I have found a little thing that I can do that I'm very pleased with, so I've got one more 5th Doctor custom to come. But other than that, I wouldn't expect to see any more 5th Doctor customs from me in future, just because I struggled, and I had to sort of compromise in terms of, you know, I struggled to find ones I wanted to do for this, and then I had to compromise by doing 2 that I didn't want to do. So I really don't think I'm going to find any other 5th Doctor customs currently that I want to do, because I just find it difficult to find anything that I think looks the part. But that brings to a close the final episode, or the final part of Life in the Workshop, the Fivefth Doctors. As always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot. Be sure to check out the description below for a link to my Patreon. I'm doing my very first figure animation, and you can get involved. There's exclusive content and rewards for those who do so, and funding my Patreon in any way gets your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.